What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the best channel on YouTube. Today, we got another segment of Podcast Sunday, where me and guests speak on different topics about self-improvement and motivation, personal-wise and business-wise, while also providing some fire gameplay. Appreciate you watching, and let's get into it. Alright. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the best channel on YouTube, as you heard in the previous intro before. But today, we're back here with another segment of Podcast Sunday. Got our guest,
yes,
Terrence Thomas, on with us as always. I guess we'll start this one off. Like I said, we switching up the kind of style of the podcast, so we're doing more of like a freestyle type thing, so it's not a set topic. But we got a direction of the topic that where we're going. But we always like to start off the podcast with like a weekly review. So I'm gonna just start off with my week review, or what I accomplished this week, good and bad. This week it was rough. It was rough. It was definitely not the best start to a week. You know, it started off with, it's just like my motivation wasn't too good. I was just like struggling with. I don't know, like the videos that I was making, I was recording a whole bunch, but I didn't like feel as though they were like the best to like start and like post up and stuff like that. But going throughout the week, it gradually got better. But like I just definitely want to be transparent with that it's not always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes
what do you think caused the motivation for you, or what was that?
Well, it was just a constant thing of the videos that I was recording just wasn't coming out as I thought and how I envisioned them to come out. And then it was just it was just demotivating, because it's like imagine you spend 4 hours doing something and then none of it is going to be used. It's like, why? It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, definitely.
What kind of
What kind of got you out of that funk?
Shoot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of in it. I only posted 2 times this week, but I mean, I'm gradually getting better. It's getting out of the mindset of that I was just losing time, and just recognizing that I did lose time, but also recognizing that I still have time to make up for what I didn't get to do from beforehand, from the different stuff that I quote unquote failed on and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's just to make sure that when you're in these situations, you just look at all perspectives. You don't just look at, I'm losing time, I'm just wasted all this time. Now half my week is gone. Just gotta get back into perspective to kind of get yourself out of it, which I'm currently in at this moment. That's my week review.
I mean, I know you were talking about last week how you were a little bit demotivated, because I know last week you set the goal of uploading every day. And you kind of fell behind early on, like you said, similar things. Where you didn't the videos weren't coming out as good as you thought they were gonna be, whatever the case was.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I guess it's one of those things you just gotta work on. Understanding that everything is not like a week is 7 days, and we kind of look at it as like a start to finish, but everything's continuous, really.
Exactly.
So whether or not you get it in 1 week doesn't really affect your overall outcome. That's something I'm kind of learning too. But I guess my weekly recap. I think I had a pretty good week so far. So we record these on Thursdays, so the week's not completely over, but it's pretty much wrapped up. As far as the work week, but I had a pretty decent week. Coming off the last podcast, like I watched my last podcast, or I watched our last podcast, and I was like, I gotta be productive. Like I started thinking about all the things I was talking about, and thinking about how more productive and more efficient I wanted to be. So I definitely went in this week trying to be more efficient, trying to be more organized, and it kind of worked. I mean, I still have a lot of stuff that I had on my list from the beginning of the week that I wanted to get done that I didn't get done. But it was because I was distracted, or I was occupied with other things that I was getting done. So, like, I kind of said before, there's no, just because you didn't get something done in a week doesn't mean it's not going to get done eventually.
Yeah.
Everything's continuous, so there's always an opportunity to get it done down the line.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm glad you had a great week.
I mean, it was good. It was more eventful. It was more eventful than anything. But there was also some downsides because today I was supposed to have. We do a meeting at my job, early morning before the doctors have their cases. Yeah. So we do like a 7:30 meeting from like 7:30 to 9. And today we were supposed to have one, but one of the doctors wasn't feeling too well. Sheesh. And he like runs most of it, so we ended up having to cancel it, and we're gonna eventually reschedule. But I got up, at 5:45 a.m. in order to get there, because I have to set up everything. I gotta go buy bagels for everybody and like prep everything. So I got up and I was literally at the bagel store. I got a call from somebody. I'm like, yeah, they were saying how one of the docs was, pretty much canceling. And I was pretty much, I was like,
bring the bagels back.
Okay, this isn't terrible. I mean, I'm already up. I might as well go in and get some work done. So I just went in early and made the most of it. But it's always the worst when you get up early for something. And I had to be up early for something else the previous day. So it was just an early week, but I don't mind it. It's just productive.
I mean, hey, you seemed like you had a pretty good week. It wasn't too crazy, but it was nice. It was nice.
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was. I did have some good things in my week that happened, but it was not a terrible week. It was it was not terrible. It was bad, but it was not terrible. I'll just say that. Right. But I guess now we can get into the actual topic of today. So, as you all know, today is Thursday. Guess what tomorrow is? Friday. Which also is Valentine's Day, okay?
Yeah.
So Valentine's Day. Now, we're just going to break down, our thoughts on the whole Valentine's Day. You know, what we think about just different stuff regarding Valentine's. I'm going to actually have Terrence start off because I think he's a little more versed in it than me. I don't.
I guess.
This guy said, "I guess."
I don't want to talk. I only talk about my present. I don't want to talk about my past. But, all I can tell you about my past is I didn't have a Valentine probably until I was maybe 17 or 18 years old. So, I mean, you might feel like you're a lonely man right now, but don't worry. You have plenty of years to go.
Plenty of thousands of dollars to spend.
Yeah, so
pockets will be hurt.
Yeah, so I'm going on my fourth Valentine's Day with my girlfriend, and it's one of those things where at first I was kind of like, this is a waste. Because why I'm showing all this hard work throughout the year, constantly working, constantly trying to do little things. You have your birthdays, you have your Christmas and holidays, and you have your anniversaries and all this stuff, and those are things that you might actually care about. And then a holiday smack dab in the beginning of the year comes around, and you're expected to have this quality gift, be creative, thoughtful. It doesn't have to be something extravagant, but sometimes you think it has to be.
Exactly.
Whatever. And you're put in a position where you got to spend money when you're trying to save because you just got smacked by Christmas. So my girl, her birthday's in November, so I have November gifts.
Dang, so you got like
Christmas gifts. Then I have a month off for prep for Valentine's, and then I have another month off, and then our anniversary is in April. So it's constant. It's pretty much semi-auto.
You got the triple, quadruple whammy, like.
So that's one of those things where you kind of look at Valentine's Day as like, all right, I just did Christmas. All right, we have anniversary coming up. What am I really doing here?
Yeah.
But it's also the positive where you're just showing like that appreciation, whether or not that little extra oomph. Yeah. And I don't think, and we could get. I want to save this point that I'm about to talk about because I want to direct the conversation to you. But
yeah.
I'm gonna save this point and I'm gonna write it down. But what's your experience with the holiday?
I mean, I've had it hasn't been like straight up like Valentine's. Like, I don't think I was ever expected like that to be like that for somebody. But
yeah,
I mean, like, there's been times where it's like, oh, you gonna give me a gift? I'm like, no. Like, if we ain't like this,
committed, yeah.
What you? I ain't gonna spend crazy money. I mean, like that's just my thinking. Like, if we ain't this, what I'm doing spending hundreds of dollars for that?
Yeah,
like, nah. But yeah, no. But it's I get it. People want to have a specific day to show love, but I mean, like, in my opinion, you should always show love. You should always want to like gift your significant other, I guess you could call it. I mean, I just say that, looking from the outside looking in.
But why are you somebody that thinks that you like? I guess you were talking to a girl or something, and then they felt that you needed to get them a gift.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if we're not like, if it's not like this,
you don't know my mom's name.
Yeah, it's like, nah, I don't.
You can't name all my 9 brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
You ain't getting the gift.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna go out my way. But yeah. So I say y'all, whoever's listening, you just got to be careful out here. Like, people just be using you for like gifts and stuff like that. And it's like, if they ain't committed to you, I just say Don't even.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this guy. I mean, he was in a committed relationship for some years, and I was mentioning this to you before when we were talking. Recording, but this guy, I was in college. I think I was a freshman, and he was talking about how, and this is a tragic story, but he was talking about how he spent, hotel. Sheesh. He got her like a laptop, a MacBook. He got her, the whole 9, like the rose petals, in the hotel, all that fancy stuff. I guess this guy was making some type of money to be able to do this. I don't know how he afforded it. Right. He was a couple years older than me, but yeah. So he did all that, and then I think a couple months later, things ended. So that's pain.
That's more than pain.
You spent all that time. You spent all that money. Commitment. MacBook.
A MacBook? Nah.
What happened to like a little $30 necklace?
Yeah, nah. If we ain't married, you ain't getting no MacBook from me. Like, you gotta have a ring for that type of prize. Jesus.
Nah, but that's one of those things where you can have people that are going all out.
Yeah.
But then you think of Valentine's Day is also like a recruitment day.
Yeah.
It's like recruitment camp for some people. They're like trying to.
Can you be my Valentine type thing?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it can have its ups and downs. You just gotta. I mean, like I said, I believe that it's, and this is a totally opinion based off of my experience. You should always just like. This shouldn't be a specific day that you just show extra love. You should, like, I think I heard the term, somebody had said, how you get them is how you keep them. So if you're doing if you're doing all this stuff at the beginning of the relationship and it kind of slows down, that's kind of messing with the relationship, I guess you could say.
Right. It's setting a false standard.
Yeah.
I guess.
So you just have to be real throughout the entire thing. That's what I was saying. Yeah. That's what I learned basically from.
Yeah, I guess there's some level of consistency that you got to keep up with.
Yeah.
I feel like over the time of my relationship, things have gotten less and less fancy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just literally like, oh yeah, let's just save money. There's no real reason to do this.
Yeah.
You can go too hard, but low key, like, for an example, we agreed this year not to do gifts or anything. So I was like, yeah, we should really save money. We shouldn't do gifts. Like, it's really not necessary. But I know for a fact I don't get at least. And this kind of segues perfectly I know for a fact if I don't get at least like, the flowers, one box of chocolates, the heart-shaped box, if I don't get at least one of those, it's not going to be good. Like, it's never going to be a situation where I could just pull up with an empty-handed.
Yeah.
Even if I say nothing, that means at least card minimum.
Exactly. It's like you can agree, yeah.
And it's not for me. That's the thing. And it's not for her.
Yeah.
It's literally so that if she sees anybody else getting these things, she knows that she was also somebody to receive one of those things.
Yeah.
If her friends and relationships are getting these things and she sees them, she's going to, even though we made the pact and the agreement, she's still going to be like, oh, wow, I low-key wish that I had that. Like, in the moment.
Yeah.
Beforehand, it's all like, oh, goody. Let's just save money, blah, blah, blah. Let's just spend it on some dinner or something. But in the moment, you already know, like, there's no compromise. There's no.
She's gonna start, putting hints out there, like, oh, I wish I got a card, like, I saw.
All right, yeah. Even if it's not hints, there's a little bit of like
tension in the air. You
feel it. You can feel it. A little bit of tension. So it's never. That's the thing about Valentine's. I don't think it's ever for. It's never for the dude, and it's never really for the girl. It's just really for the girl to be able to hold up to society and be like, hey, my guy cares about me publicly.
Yeah. Wait, hold on one second. There's some background noise, bro.
You gotta put a red sign on the door. I mean, I guess that's probably true.
Yeah, no, they're just gonna walk past it. They don't even.
Dude, that's like, let's talk about that. Little segue. Inconsiderance of siblings.
Inconsiderance.
All right, I have one. I don't know how we could go on for a long time on this topic. But
man, I got 8 different ones.
Think of,
man.
like, you got 8 siblings. All right, 2 are moved out. 3 is about to be moved out. So you only got 5 left. All right. They like to do TikToks. They like to jump around, dance, yell, scream, and they're younger than you. You're gonna be the man of the house now.
Sheesh.
And
oh my!
I'm not gonna tell your stories for you, but for me, for an example, I have a younger brother, 3 years younger. This kid is so inconsiderate. He will literally be let's say he has to wake up earlier than everybody to go do something, go to a doctor's appointment, go to work, go play football with his friends. This kid literally, I guess when he goes off to college, he starts playing music when he's getting ready in the morning.
Yeah.
I guess it helps him get through the morning, get himself pumped up, whatever. This guy literally takes his Beats pill, whatever he has, his speaker, his JBL speaker, blasting music in the morning. Everybody is sleeping. This kid doesn't understand common courtesy. Put some headphones in. Maybe play your music at a moderate level.
Maybe wanted to say this for a while.
Absolutely. No, you're an adult. You should understand common courtesy. Be considerate. Don't wake up and think that it's all goody to just be blasting your music while everybody in the house is asleep.
That's tough, Tim. Come on, man. You know who you are.
Same thing in the back. Same thing at night.
Right, y'all go to sleep.
This guy would be. I got work. I got responsibilities. This guy's on winter break. He's playing Xbox. Yelling. Full blast. Midnight.
Yeah, I'll be in the party.
2 a.m. Exactly. I don't know how you deal with this guy.
Yeah, nah.
This guy at the top of his lungs screaming.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
And he's always screaming Zeph's name. Big pause. Big pause.
Hey, yo. Yeah, nah.
He's always like, sir!
Man, always blaming me.
Why did you kill him?
This man always blaming me. But, yeah, nah. I mean, I can't even do that because, as soon as I make too loud of a noise, my mom come upstairs, knock, 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 and I'm out. She's like, shut up. I'm like, okay. I can't do that. Like, even when I'm trying to record videos at night, it's like, It's like,
what about during the day?
No, during the day they still be like, but they're a little more lenient with it. A little more lenient. Like my mom be poking in my room when I'm like jumping up and screaming at the TV. It's like it's for the video.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
He's like, why do I hear that thumping? It's just Zeph doing clapping push-ups for his intro again.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. That's tough. But yeah, nah. It's.
How do you keep your siblings in line, dude? Do they respect you as an elder?
They respect me.
What? To what age? So does Safina respect anything you have to say?
Yes.
She's very close in age to you. She respects?
I mean, they all have a respect, but sometimes you have to introduce.
Reinforce?
Reinforce as to why you should be respected.
Dang.
So yeah, I mean, like even Serena, before, when I just came into the house, she was on some nonsense, and you have to reinforce as to why. With a big, like, you gonna come at me as soon as I come back from the gym, bro? Like, I will destroy you. But yeah, nah, it's
dirty.
It's crazy. It's like, I mean, it's a whole different. And even when JoJo moves out, I know it's gonna be a whole different shift in just the whole household. And like I said, it's gonna be. I don't even know how we got on this. Who's
a reinforcer out of you two? Like, out of everybody in the house, who is the main reinforcer if you had everybody in the house at the same time?
Well, I mean, we don't reinforce like the older ones, like ones that are older than us. Like, I never did that with Josiah.
But I'm saying, like, who's the reinforcer
Josiah.
of the younger guy?
Yeah, Josiah would be.
Okay, Josiah is the one.
He used to bully me back in the day. He was my bully. Like, you know how dudes was coming.
I thought him slapping your brothers in the video was just for jokes, but I guess that's a real thing.
Nah, he calmed down. He calmed down for them. That's play based on what we use.
That's light.
That's light.
Oh my
god, that's light. Yeah, nah.
That's crazy.
I mean, and the thing is, this is going on to a whole different topic. I don't know. This might be 2 videos or something, but this is talking. But the thing is, with him, like when we were growing up, I used to always be bigger than him, but he just had that whole mental thing with me where even though I was smaller than him, I never thought that I could beat him. So it was just like, because I had that thought in my head that I never could beat him in like anything. He always won.
He just mentally beat you.
Yeah, but once I got mad, I could always see that he gets scared of me. Like when I got mad and like didn't care, I can see the fear in his eyes. But then it just be reinforced again by Giselle. But yeah, no, that's how he used to be growing up. He was a mean kid. I mean, he's kind of chilled out now.
So Josiah was the enforcer. Is the enforcer when he's in the house of making sure the kids are in line.
Well, when it comes to him, that's it. But I mean, everything else, like we only enforce when it comes to us. Like, if Elena talks some nonsense, I just like get up in her face. Like, even not get a play thing, not even like nothing serious like that. But it's still, she knows what's up. She knows what's up.
See, I used to be like that. I used to try to enforce and try to like promote good habits, and then it got to a point where I just gave up because I knew this kid was just a lost cause. That was probably around when Tim was in maybe high school. I was like, all right, this is kind of a lost cause. There's no point in me trying to push my agenda on this guy. He's long gone.
That's tough. But I mean, I think as you guys both get older, I don't know. I feel like you guys about to be like the best friends. Like when you get like old, y'all just gonna be like doing everything. Like, do you know if you're gonna be like moving away or?
I mean, I don't know. The competitiveness of the field I'm trying to go into is it puts you at the mercy of the schools that try to that are pretty much letting you in or that you're applying for. So. When you go to if you go to a medical school in the Northeast region, if you go like I'm going to Philly, so it makes it a little bit easier to stay closer to home because all your connections are made locally or more locally versus if I was across the country and I had to do that. But there's nothing that's guaranteed.
Got you.
Of course. So, but I don't know. With that situation, I think me and Tim are just very different people in general.
Yeah.
and we have different interests and some similar interests, but we have different perspectives on how that goes along. And I think it has to do with just a maturity level, because for me, I've always been more mature for my age. So although I'm 3 years older than him, it feels like I'm way older than him, because he's always been at like, you know, regular maturity
pace
for his age.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like I always feel like I've been like ahead of the curve as far as maturity level, and not being interested in like the stuff that most of the kids my age are interested in. I've always been like more career driven, like down the line. So
Got you.
I'm just like thinking, like, I'm trying to tell this kid like, oh, yo, you got to start joining these organizations, clubs, trying to get focus on more of your career, put yourself out more.
Yeah.
And this guy's thinking about being in a frat. So like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, tell him not to enjoy his like college life. Like, yeah, just because I was miserable in college doesn't mean that he has to be. So it's like, you kind of just. But Tim's also somebody that has a huge ego. So once he gets over that, then he'll be fine.
No, he's a good person, but he's. I mean, I can't even say because I'm younger than him, but maturity.
Right.
I'll just say, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that.
He might listen to this.
Yeah. Love you, Tim, man. Love you, man.
Yeah, he just has his own interests. Let's just leave it at that.
But yeah, okay. So that's gonna be the end of this video. I know we kind of shifted from the first topic, but hey, we just talking. That's what a podcast is. We just talking.
It's a podcast on a Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear any other topics, or if you have anything that you want to hear us talk about. We will talk about it, because this is a freestyle podcast show from now on.
Yeah. I just want to shout out if anybody that's made it to the end here, made it to the end, you're a loyal subscriber and you're a loyal follower. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel,
shout that out.
Zeph, you can put it into the link.
Put it up in the screen right now.
My name it's just my name, Terrence Thomas, Terence. Last name is Thomas, Thomas. And I just talk about pre-med stuff, going to medical school, different stuff like that. So if any of you guys are loyal subscribers interested in checking out more about me and more about that kind of stuff, feel free to hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to wrap it off there. As always, appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.